Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about the Ascended Masters and how you can work with them. There are many Ascended Masters, but I only decided to pick 3 to talk about today. So you may be wondering to yourself, if you've never heard of that term, what exactly is an Ascended Master? So the most famous Ascended Master that everyone recognizes is, of course, Jesus. So an Ascended Master is a human being, someone who's incarnated as a human, but who has taken on the 6th initiation. So in other words, they've gone through ascension and they're capable of dwelling in the 6th dimension. Buddha is another Ascended Master. So there are ways that we can work with the Ascended Masters. They do help us in many areas. So I decided today to focus on 3 of the Ascended Masters. And the first one that I'm going to focus on is Mother Mary. Mother Mary is the Divine Mother. So just as we think of God as being the Divine Father, Mother Mary is the Divine Mother. And her message is just love. You know, we're supposed to be here on earth experiencing love in all of its forms. And she is a very soothing presence. And if you've ever done any kind of meditations, I always use Mother Mary when I do my past life regressions to do a little inner healing. If you need mother healing, any type of healing from mother issues, Mother Mary is someone that you can call on to work with you. She has a very nurturing energy. And again, she can soothe you in times where maybe you feel very stressed. She's very symbolic of love, feminine power and strength, balance, peace, nurturance, and authenticity. So what are some of the ways that you can work with Mother Mary that are helpful to you? So she can help you to heal and open your heart, to embrace the divine feminine within you. She can help you to learn the importance of being balanced and staying in balance and an equal energy of giving and receiving, because so many of us who are people pleasers, as we all know, tend to overgive. So if you need to be more in balance with the equal give and take, you can ask Mother Mary to work with you. Also, she can help you to become more aware of the importance of self-care. That is one area where many of us, we lack because we just try to take care of everyone else, and that kind of goes on the back burner. So Mother Mary can help you with self-care. She can help you to grow and become more authentic, to really become who you're truly meant to be. And I think authenticity is something that so many of us struggle with because we're afraid of what others think. So we don't want to put ourselves out there, and she can help you with that. She can also help you when it's difficult for you to love someone. So when you're finding it very difficult, if you're having a difficult relationship with someone and it's hard to see that situation with love, Mother Mary can come in and show you what it's really all about and show you that the important thing is love. And I love that she comes in as that, that beautiful message of love. And we need to have divine love for everyone, because it's very hard to do sometimes, isn't it? So one message that Mother Mary brings is, like, if you're working with her, she helps to bring miracles. So you can expect a miracle, to have faith that your prayers have been heard and they're being answered. I have the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck from Doreen Virtue, and she has, a card for Mother Mary. And I want to read to you the message that comes from Mother Mary. Faith is the light that illuminates your pathway. Without faith, the future looks very frightening. That's why it's essential for you to take whatever steps are necessary to keep your mind and heart filled with faith. Please don't give up hope on yourself or other people. Keep the candle of faith burning within your soul, as that one small inkling of hope can eradicate the darkness of despair. Be the light that eliminates someone else's gloomy hopelessness as well, for as you make others stronger, it strengthens not only yourself, but the entire world. So she is here to help us learn about love, not only love for ourselves, but love for others. And remember that anytime we show other people that love, we're helping to raise the vibration of the entire collective on the planet. And we're seeing that so much more and more. When you get messages from Mother Mary, here's what they could mean. It could mean let go of worrisome thoughts. Keep your thoughts positive. And I know that there were some people who reached out to me that said, they were having trouble keeping the faith and having trouble because they're very worried at this time. Well, I believe that I did not pick this Ascended Master by accident. So this is your message. Those of you who are listening who have been saying, I'm having trouble keeping the faith, here's your message. Mother Mary is asking you to keep the faith, to let go of your worries, to not be troubled, because things are going to work out in your favor. Notice and follow any divine guidance that you may receive. And when you start to feel that worry and doubt come in, simply pray. And you can pray to Mother Mary to ask her to fill you with love and to help you let go of the worries and fears that you're feeling. And this might be a time for you to engage in some spiritual healing. So if you're feeling really completely overwhelmed by everything that's going on, you may need to take some time to get some Reiki or do some other spiritual energy healing to help bring balance. Because again, she's all about self-care and balance too. And part of that is making sure that you're emotionally balanced and that you're spiritually balanced. So making sure that you're taking care of yourself. More about her, she's the beloved Mother of Christ, who's known as the Queen of the Angels. Because of her ongoing and miraculous healing work, Mary works closely with anyone who is a child advocate, teacher, or healer. I love that. If you're a teacher or a healer, please call on Mother Mary. She can help you in your work. I definitely call on Mother Mary when I do Reiki. I always ask her to come in. And she has a beautiful energy. And anyone I've ever done Reiki on, or when they've done a guided meditation at the end and I call on her, people say that they feel such a peace and love from her. And I truly have felt that too. So she's an amazing Ascended Master to work with. If you again, are a teacher or healer, call on her because she loves children and she's devoted to making the world a safe and happy place for them. So if you want to help children, ask Mother Mary for a divine assignment because she can help you with that. So I love that. So that is Mother Mary if you want to work with her. And I would especially urge you, if you're a teacher or a child care giver or, you work in some sort of healing, call on her, ask her to help you with your mission because that's what she loves to do and is here to do. Okay, so the second Ascended Master that I wanted to talk to you today about is Sarasvati. And Sarasvati is the Hindu goddess of speech, arts, and music. And she can help you to find your voice when you don't have it. So those of you who, and I know I've been working with several clients who keep saying that they're pulling the card over and over again about speak your truth and you need to find your voice and clear your throat chakra. If that's you, you can call on Sarasvati to work with you because she can help you to lose the fear and doubt and to find that inner voice. Now, the shadow side of Sarasvati, when you're experiencing doubt and unworthiness, like she is pointing that out to you and you need to call on her to help you to stand up for yourself and to find your voice, to find the confidence in yourself, because she can help you to do that. So a little bit about who Sarasvati was. She's the goddess. She was married to Brahma, but only briefly because she had a very independent nature. She was very committed to meditation and devoted to music and arts, and so it took her away from Brahma one too many times. In fact, one day she arrived late to an important ceremony, and he was supposed to be honored there. So Brahma became very upset, and he would not forgive her, and he demanded a divorce. But she wasn't bothered by this because she didn't want to be tied down or forced to be a subservient wife. Her life was dedicated to accessing deep states of meditation and discerning truth from within. In a lot of depictions of Sarasvati, she has a swan that sits with her and sips on water and milk and is able to separate milk from water, which is metaphorically speaking about knowing our own truth. She teaches us to go within and to trust in our inherent gifts. And that is why that it would make sense that our shadow side would be us doubting those intuitive gifts that we have. We find her in rivers, oceans, streams, and lakes, anywhere there's water. In fact, her name means to flow. So her name really means to flow with your creative capacities. So she connects us to our artistic gifts. So if you see a beautiful work of art, or you hear someone speaking and their speech is simply beautiful, you know that this is Sarasvati at work. So if you are trying to do something creative, you may want to call on her to help you. Some of the ways you can work with her in your own life are you can do some daily rituals to connect you to your creativity, and also to help you release fears and doubts to step more courageously into making a contribution in life. So here are some of the things you can do to call on her energy. You can spend the day dedicated to watching your speech and being very curious about where any negative speech may come from. So if you notice that you have negative thoughts popping in, where is that coming from? You can meander on the way home from work rather than taking your usual straightforward route and just let the path unfold before you, because that sort of sparks your creativity, doesn't it? Let's say you're on the way home and you always notice this cute little subdivision and you're like, those homes are so neat and I've never been back there and I've always wondered, what does it look like? So you just allow yourself to go back and wander through that area. And I know that a lot of us are quarantined now, so we might not necessarily be able to take a drive. Although, if you're not around a lot of people, you can get out in your car and just go take a drive. And I know there have been a lot of people who've done that just to get out of the house. So that could be something that you could do now if you're bored and you're looking for something to do during this quarantine. You could just get in your car and just kind of wander, take a little drive and check out some new neighborhoods. And that would be kind of a fun thing to do. And you would discover parts of your town that maybe you've never even seen before. I lived in my town for my entire life. And I can tell you that there are parts of my town that I've never seen before because I've never done that. I've never had to go to certain parts, and I'm just not the type of person that normally gets in my car and just drives and see where I go. But that would be kind of a fun activity to do for a day if you have some time to kill. Another thing you can do is to try to download a language learning app on your phone and just work with it, because learning a new language can be a lot of fun and it sparks a lot of creativity. And again, if you have a lot of free time on your hands, Duolingo is a great app. It's Duolingo, and they have so many different languages. So, you may be thinking, well, I don't really want to learn Spanish and German or French, the typical ones, but they have many different languages there, like Korean, that you might not even ever have thought of something that you would want to learn, but maybe you get on there and you just see the different languages and you just start listening. I always tell my students, get on there and listen to the different languages and how they sound. You may find that you really connect with one and you think, oh my gosh, that language sounds so cool. I want to learn that language. So you get on there and you do that. So I would say, do it. Duolingo is a great app. So is Memrise, Memrise. They're free. They're really good. You're not going to become, completely fluent through them, but they can at least get you started and help you realize, is this something that I really want to learn? And then once you do that, go to YouTube and go to the podcast apps. There are a lot of podcasting apps for learning a language, and there are a lot of YouTube videos that people put out there for learning a language. So once you start with just Duolingo or Memrise, then you can go to those other places and really, really work on that language skill. You can also pick up a musical instrument. I did that. I'm able to play the keyboard or the piano by ear. I never took lessons, but I learned by watching videos on YouTube. So you could do that too. There's so many great things out there for us. And music is something so many of us enjoy, but really don't try. Like, we don't try to play an instrument. I mean, if you didn't take music in school, most people don't just pick up an instrument and try to start playing it. But how fun would that be? Maybe you could try to do that. Another thing that you can do is just like get on your computer and just see where you end up going with that too. Be creative. Write a letter, write a poem or a song, and then share it with someone. Or even singing. Singing opens up your throat chakra. And again, Sarasvati is all about helping us to open our throat chakra and, speak our truth. So you can do that if you want to. Another thing you can do is to work on some inner practices. So you could sit for 5 minutes quietly, simply watching your breath. And then when the 5 minutes is up, write down what comes to your mind, journaling. And a lot of times you'll receive messages and clarity when doing that. And it's something that takes practice. The first time, maybe you won't get that much, but the more you do it, the better it becomes. And I find that is what works for me too. When I do a lot of, when I do readings and that, the more I do them, the better it gets. The more you practice, the better it gets. So try doing that. All right. So again, I want to read to you what the card says from this Dorian Virtue deck. So first of all, on the card, Sarasvati is sitting on the banks of water and her foot is on a lotus blossom, which is important because if she's a Hindu goddess, the lotus blossom is an important symbol for them. And her swan is sitting next to her and she is playing that musical instrument. So the message here is express yourself through creative activities. You're a limitless being. If it seems that you have time, money, or other restrictions, it's simply because your mind is focused upon the material world. You can unlimit yourself by lifting the cloak of the material world from your focus. Music is essential for the expression of non-material ideals and energies. Music colors our surroundings with emanations from the higher vibrational fields. It allows us to escape all limitations in our thinking and our very existence. Surround yourself in music and allow it to stimulate your own creative thinking and to spark new ideas. Flow with the music and give yourself permission to investigate and experiment with putting your creative ideas into action. Enjoy being limitless. So I love that message. The various meanings when working with her could be play music, sing, dance, draw, paint, write, or do something creative. I love this because, my daughter, she has been dealing with grief from the loss of her dad, and she has taken this opportunity to get out a lot of what she's feeling through painting. And she's been painting a lot, and I'm really impressed with some of the things she's doing. So it really is helping her. It could also mean study or change to a career that gives you freedom, more creative freedom. Take a creative class, invest in an artistic hobby, keep a journal of your creative ideas, join a writing club or other creative support systems. So I love that. So again, a little more about Sarasvati is she's the Hindu goddess of the arts. She helps us with all creative expressions such as music, writing, dancing, and eloquent speaking. The wife of Brahma, Sarasvati prizes knowledge and creative expression above material possessions. Her symbols include a white swan, I think it's Veena musical instrument, and a book of knowledge. She helps us focus on our mind. She helps us focus our minds on our creative projects and not get distracted or procrastinate. And this musical instrument, it sort of reminds me of like a little guitar. So again, if you are working with something creative, call on Sarasvati to help you. If you need to find your voice, stand up for yourself, you need courage, call on Sarasvati. So I love that. All right, so awesome. So we are on to our third And I don't know if they consider her to be an ascended master, but she is a Celtic goddess. It's Aeracura. And Aeracura is all about, she's about working with nature and like blossoming, things blossoming. So when we think of like the spring and the flowers blossoming and plants growing, we think of Aeracura. She's a Celtic and Germanic goddess. She's considered to be an earth goddess and an underworld goddess. She started as an earth goddess and later became an underworld goddess. She's the bridge between earthly life and the other side. Many modern, New Age, and pagan sites say she helps us to put our goals in perspective so we won't stress ourselves out needlessly. Modern times, she's thought of as a fairy queen or a goddess who helps plants and flowers blossom in the spring, and she has a fondness for helping artists and inventors. So in the card deck, her card, she's this beautiful, it does look like a fairy goddess, all dressed in white, and she's coming out of the center of a flower. So her message is you are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. Her message is, in many ways, you are like a flower bud who is ripe and ready to open and grow. Don't try to rush this process as it's part of your beautiful path. Enjoy learning new knowledge and skills. Take your time to gather new ideas. Nurture your body with plenty of fresh air, sunshine, water, and healthful food. Soon enough, you'll get the unmistakable signal that it's time to put your learning into action. Spend time among the flowers or work with flower essences and oils to support your growth process. Now, I love this, and I think it's a really good timing that we're talking about this particular goddess because it is spring. And many of you probably have time now to work on your gardens, and this is saying that it's time to do that. The various meanings of this card are to slow down, which many of us are being forced to do right now. Have patience. Again, many of us are being forced to have patience right now. Get involved with gardening. Use aromatherapy and or flower essences. And there have been many people that I've been getting a message to use lavender because it's a very calming and soothing essential oil. So if you have lavender, start using it. It also helps to relieve headaches if you've been experiencing those. But this is also telling you keep the faith. So Aeracura, again, she's a Celtic and Germanic goddess who multitasks as an earth mother deity, a fairy queen, and also a bridge between earthly life and the hereafter. She helps us put our goals and challenges into perspective so that we don't needlessly stress ourselves. Call upon her for emergency money or help in manifesting supply. She's especially fond of assisting artists and inventors. So if you are looking to manifest money, this is another person you can call on, or another deity, I should say, that you can call on. Also, if you are a musician or an inventor and you're looking for some inspiration and you need some guidance or some help and just helping you to finish your projects, because sometimes we get these great ideas and these creative ideas flow to us and then we start working on them and then we stop and they never get finished. So if you're one of those people who finds that you're procrastinating and you're having a difficult time getting your work done in the creative areas, call on Aeracura because she can help you to finish those projects. And I probably need to call on her too because I've got a couple of projects that I really need to finish. And I don't know, if you're like me, sometimes I sit down to do it and nothing flows. And then other times I sit down and it seems like a flow just doesn't even stop. But I think that during those times we sit down and we experience the writer's block, that's when it's time for us to call on those deities who can help us, like Aeracura or Sarasvati, because both of those two goddesses can help us to really get those creative juices flowing and to put ourselves out there. Because I think a lot of the time, the reason that we don't continue doing what we're supposed to be doing is that we get blocked by our own fear of putting ourselves out there. Because when you work on something that you consider to be your creative project, your creative art, for me, it was my book. It was my classes that I do. That's very vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there and you're thinking, oh my gosh, people are going to read this and they're going to know more about me and I feel so vulnerable and I don't want to do that. That's where you might call on Sarasvati to help you find the courage and to speak your truth, to step into who you really are. As it said, her swan can separate milk from water, and that is the symbolism of us knowing our inner truth. Who are we really and who are we projecting? Because many of us put a false mask out there for others to see. Like, we don't want people to see who we really are, and we're not being authentic. We're not living our authentic lives and being our true selves. So Sarasvati helps us to do that, to step into our truth, to show who we truly are, and to not worry about it. Because you know what? I had someone review my book just recently. I was reaching out to different groups and asking if they could review it. And she said, yeah, I'll review your book. And she put this big, long review and said a lot of really nice things about my book. But then at the end is like, well, I don't agree with her religious beliefs, but it's a good book. And, I have to know that when I put myself out there are going to be people who think, oh my gosh, what is this girl thinking? What are her spiritual beliefs? What are her religious beliefs? This is really weird. It's different. And maybe many of you are thinking that too. Maybe many of you are afraid to speak up about what your spiritual beliefs really are because it goes against what you were traditionally taught. And that's perfectly understandable. But it's so important to be who you really truly are. And so if you are feeling that way, you can call on Aeracura and Sarasvati both. And I think even calling on Mother Mary to help you, because she is the true vision of what love is. And so I think when many of us are afraid to speak our truth, we're not really loving who we truly are. And we need to start doing that more. So those are just some ways you can work with them. You can do more research on your own if you wish. I don't know. I found this very informative today, and I'm learning just as much as you are as I'm doing this research, and I really, truly love it. And I think it's great. It's always good to find more people on our spiritual path who can help us. So I love that. So keep sending in your questions that you might have or topics you might want me to dive into, because I love that. It's a challenge for me and one that I really enjoy. I enjoy doing research. So absolutely reach out to me if you want to know more about different topics. I love that. It makes my job much more interesting. So keep doing that. And thank you to those of you who reached out and had specific questions and wanted me to do topics for my podcast, because that really is fun for me. I enjoy that. So thank you. And thank you to those of you who listen to my podcast. As always, if you like it, please, please, please subscribe. Please share it with others. Please leave me a review from wherever you're listening. That helps others to find me. And I do go and read my reviews. I had someone who reviewed and said, I don't think you're being too, doing too many of the same topics. And I took that totally to heart. It doesn't offend me if you give me feedback. I just take it to make myself the best version of me possible. The only thing I ask is if you could send me the review and not leave it on the podcast, because I don't want to deter anyone from listening to the podcast, because there may be people who really need to hear it. So if you could send me directly the feedback, if it's not positive, I would love that, because it does help me. It helps me to be a better person, and it doesn't offend me. But the only thing I don't like if it's left publicly, I think that deters people from listening when maybe they might need to hear my messages. So I really appreciate all of that, really. It's not an ego thing at all. It's more about reviews. Unfortunately, if you get any bad ones at all, people will see that and be like, well, I'm not going to listen to that. And I don't want to deter anyone who might need to hear my message. So thank you, though, for leaving the reviews. I do appreciate that. Also, if you'd like to work with me, you can still get in on my class, my self-love class, You Are Lovable. If you're a subscriber to my website, you got a coupon code. If you want to subscribe to my website and you didn't get the coupon code, reach out to me. You can subscribe. I will give you the email that had that in there if you subscribe late. But I want anyone and everyone who wants to get in on this class to do so. It's going to be so great. If you have ever dealt with doubts about yourself, or you can't make a decision because you're just not confident, or people walk all over you because you don't stand up for yourself, if any of those things ring true for you, you need to sign up for this course. It is going to help you tremendously. It's 2 weeks. It's online. It's all on Google Classroom. And once you sign up, you get the code and you can do the course at your own pace. It includes things like meditations, tappings, prayers, all kinds of things to help you, and as well as journaling exercises. And we're going to meet the Thursday of the first week, which is the week of the 20th, and then that next Thursday. So you'll basically get 2 group coaching sessions with me as well. A normal group, like not group session, but a normal one-on-one session is $60. The class is $100, but if you have the coupon code, you get $20 off. So it's a huge, huge savings for you. You get so much out of this. The material for the class is yours to keep forever. And the group coaching, even if you can't make it there, will be recorded on Zoom. And you can ask questions. We can dive deeper into certain topics. So it's a really, really good deal. Plus, there's a Facebook group for you to be in so that you can put your aha moments out there and help work with others just to really dive deep into these topics and to do a lot of inner healing. So you still have time to enroll. You can enroll on my website. It's on the offerings page. You just click on it, add it to the cart, and then there will be a place you can put the coupon code if you have that. So I would highly recommend you signing up for that. It's going to be such an awesome class, and I can't wait. I'm excited for you all to be enrolled. And if you did my free training, that was not even the tip of the iceberg for what the class is going to be. And if that helped you, the class is going to really help you. So don't wait. Get enrolled. Sign up. Okay, once the 2 weeks are over, I'm going to offer the class, but it will be, you won't have the live session with me, so you're not going to get as much out of it. All right, so consider enrolling. There are so many ways to work with me. If you're not interested in doing a class and you want to do one-on-one work with me, go to my website, melissaoatman.com. There you'll see all the ways you can work with me. You can purchase directly from my website. When you're ready to book your session, you'll simply contact me and we'll set it up. All of my sessions are done online through Zoom, so it's not affected at all by what's going on because I can still work from home. So don't hesitate to reach out. I want to thank you so much for being a part of my soul family. If you want to follow me on social media, I offer so many things. I go live on Facebook Mondays at 5:30 Central. I have a new Facebook page for my book. So if you've purchased my book, you can go there, and it's going to be a page dedicated to helping people with breakups and disappointments. So I'm going to be putting more positive things there, and it will be different from my my normal Reiki with Melissa Facebook page. So you can go and like that page. And I will also be putting there more information about my book. If you want to listen to a free sample of my audiobook, go to my Facebook page and you can go to that book page. I am offering a free sample there, the first chapter, so you can listen to chapter 1 for free. My audiobook is going to be available on Amazon very soon. I thought that it already was, but there was a delay because of this whole coronavirus, so it will be available soon. But for now, you can at least listen to a sample of the chapter 1 there. So go and check that out. And my YouTube channel, I am uploading free guided meditations there to help you. I just added a new deep sleep guided meditation if you've been having trouble sleeping. So you can go to my YouTube channel. All of the things that I offer there are free. So I will have all of the descriptions and links to everything and how to contact me in the description to this podcast, as always. All right, guys, I love you so much. I hope that you have a beautiful day and that you are continuing to see the blessings in every day. I know it kind of stinks that we're in quarantine, but there are so many things to be thankful about. Number 1, if you're healthy, be grateful for that. Number 2, if you have family with you or people that you can talk to, be grateful for that. And if you have things that you can do, be grateful for that. If you can keep yourself entertained, please do. As the weather gets nicer, go outside and take a walk. It will help you tremendously, I promise. It is the thing I look forward to every day, is taking my dogs for a walk, because it's a chance for me to get out in nature and I always feel so much better. All right, guys, I love you. Take care. Take care of yourselves and take care of one another. I will talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.